What happens when you do everything right and still lose? How do you come back from losing everything? Do you transcend or do you fall? This is a story about Luffy's lowest point and the journey that turns pain into purpose. We've seen Luffy lose before, Crocodile, Kaido, but even those losses still had something in them, a path back. Luffy always returns, he adapts, he rises. The comeback feels inevitable. But there's one point in the story where that isn't true. Because going into Sabaody, the Straw Hats are on a real hot streak. They beat Crocodile, a warlord. They stormed Ennie's lobby, declared war on the world government, and they still took down CP9, as well as defeating Moria at Thriller Bark. They have been shocking the world, rising so fast it feels unreal. And right before Sabaody, the story slipped into a warning. During Luffy and Moria's fight, Moria tells Luffy, "You are not fit for the new world. With your strength you will die. And worse, you will lose them all." Sabaody is where that warning becomes real, because for once, that comeback isn't available. When they first arrive, Sabaody looks unreal, bubbles in the air, giant mana grows. The whole island feels like a fantasy. The Straw Hats are falling for it, laughing, joking, moving around like tourists for a second. But right underneath that beauty, Sabaody has rules, not pirate rules, world rules. This is the last stop before the new world. If famous pirates pass through here, so do human traffickers. Then we hear about the celestial dragons, world nobles, people so arrogant they wouldn't even breathe the same air as regular humans. Hachi tells us all this. Even if you see a celestial dragon hurt somebody right in front of you, you are expected to pretend like you didn't see anything. And that's a problem, because Luffy can't live like that. Sabaody starts like any arc. But this is where the story reminds you, the rise is real, but the world doesn't care. Sabaody isn't an island that welcomes you, it's an island that measures you. Luffy does what he always does. Whenever he sees something wrong or doesn't agree with his morals, he refuses to play along. So when the line gets crossed and Hachi gets shot, he throws the punch and the entire world answers back. Because the second he does, the world sends Kizaru. What makes Sabaody different from most defeats is the story makes you feel it in their bodies. Not just Luffy screaming. The Straw Hats are exhausted, bleeding, scrambling. Every move gets answered instantly, not with effort, with authority. When the pacifists show up, the vibes switched. It felt like the Straw Hats had a chance. Then it felt almost impossible, like the outcome was already decided, and they are just running inside it. Right when it's about to be over, Rayleigh shows up. When almost all hope is lost, Rayleigh shows up to help the Straw Hats. It changes the temperature for a temporary moment, but then Kuma shows up. After that, it doesn't matter. Kuma annihilates them with ease. One hand, one pop, everybody is gone. This wasn't a normal loss. It was a world saying not yet. Luffy, being the last one to witness his whole crew gone. He's screaming, crying. He's not strong enough yet. The cold part about it, the world just moves on. After the Straw Hats get erased, we get a scene in Shaki's bar. She talks about strength isn't enough. They're going against admirals. You can't just be strong. You need to be more than strong. She talked about a big wave coming. Not one enemy, not one fight, a whole new era, a whole new world, full of admirals, warlords, emperors, a wave called the New World. And Sabaody. Sabaody was the moment that the sea looked at Luffy and said, "You're not ready to protect them yet." So the story doesn't end with defeat. It ends with the forecast. After Sabaody, Luffy should be clearing his head and getting his mind right and getting ready. Instead, he's sprinting into hell with one name on his mind, Ace. This isn't a save the island arc, it's a rescue mission where the world keeps on saying you're too late. Magellan isn't a fight, it's a lesson. One touch and it's over for Luffy. Refusing doesn't cure poison. So the descent turns into survival. Then appears Ivankov, and saving Luffy costs years of his life. Luffy doesn't hesitate. When you're desperate enough, you stop bargaining with the future. Right in the middle of this, Luffy runs into Blackbeard. Blackbeard doesn't treat it like a tragedy. He treats it like the air is shifting. Luffy says, "I'm going to save Ace." Teach doesn't laugh. He basically says nothing is impossible. He mentioned how Skyline was real and how the One Piece existed. They are both dreamers, just on the opposite side of the coin. Impel Down proves Luffy's greatest strength. He makes people choose him. Enemies become allies, different morals, different lives, but one shared goal, escape. and bottom clay becomes the purest receipt. He sacrificed himself because Luffy's heart made that sacrifice mean something. Marineford is the first time the story makes Luffy look small. Not small like weak, small like a kid in a room full of monsters. In the arcs, Luffy is the main character, usually the top dog. In Marineford, he's a rookie in the final exam. Luffy's conviction is pure. He talks to Whitebeard like a normal person. No worship, no fear. Then you get that image. Luffy standing in front of the three admirals, with only Ace on his mind. Luffy keeps getting help, and Mihawk calls it out. His most terrifying power is the ability to draw people to his side. Luffy's body is done. He asks Ivankov for another shot anyway. He feels as if he stops fighting, Ace will die. Luffy feels as if he has to do everything in his power, even if he dies on the way. On the way to Ace, Luffy encounters Kobe. He punches him and keeps moving. No time for speeches. Then he faces Garp. He punches his own grandfather. Anything for Ace. That detail hurts. Garp could have stopped him. He just couldn't bring himself to hurt his grandson. Luffy reaches a platform. He goes for the key. Kizaru fires a light beam. The key shatters. Sengoku intervenes. System says no. Then Luffy's greatest strength shows up again. Mr. 3 makes a new key. Cuffs open. Ace is free. You can see pure joy on Luffy's face. All that pain paid off. For one moment, he beat the impossible. But Marineford doesn't care that Ace is free. War cares about messages. Luffy can't control Ace's heart. Ace couldn't let anything go, because deep down, Ace always carried a wound. My life was worthless. I shouldn't exist. Whitebeard made him feel like he mattered. So when Whitebeard's name gets attacked, Ace reacts like he's being erased again. You can't wrestle someone out of their core wound in one moment. As Ace is dying, he doesn't panic. He reflects on his life, wondering if it truly mattered. Then he stops running from the question that haunted him. In Luffy's arms, he says the answer. He thanks everybody for loving him, his crew, Luffy. Then Luffy crashes out. His mind can't process it. Ace's death replaying nonstop on loop. I was right there and I still lost him. Luffy didn't just lose Ace. He lost to something inside of Ace he could never fight. Jinbei tells Luffy the truth out loud. Ace is dead. Luffy cries harder. Says, me, Pirate King, I'm so weak. That line is Marineford in one breath. Luffy tries to talk sense into a blind Luffy. Even though it's painful now, Jinbei gets Luffy to remember what he still has. His crew. We see Shanks at Whitebeard's funeral. He even tells Luffy, it's alright to cry, just overcome it. Luffy wants to go back to Sabaody, but Rayleigh gives him a suggestion, and he listens. Luffy chooses patience. He sends the message, not 3 days, 2 years. 3D2Y is Luffy saying, I'm not letting the world take you from me again. Let's meet when it's time. 2 years later, Sabaody again. Same nightmare, pacifista. Everyone panics because they remember what it used to mean. But Luffy doesn't flinch. He steps forward and one-shots it. That punch isn't just power. It's a message. That day doesn't own him anymore. Marineford taught Luffy the coolest truth. You can do everything right, give it your all, and still lose. Ace died and Luffy crashed out. His mind stuck replaying that moment on a loop. Because for the first time, his will wasn't enough. But that's where the turning point happens. Jinbei forces him to look up and remember what he still has, his crew. And Shanks simply puts it, it's alright to cry, just overcome it. Luffy's greatest power wasn't just his fist, it's his presence, the way he keeps moving forward, and the people that choose to move with him. Him choosing to be present, not worried about what he lost, but what he has right now.